NFL Week 8 power ranking after the Giants win. They're 2-5, but they're the best 2-5 team to ever walk the face of the planet. So they're number 1 on this list. Spoiler alert, let's go! What's up, guys? Let's do this. So coming in at number 32, I have the Detroit Lions, the only winless team in the National Football League. But are they the most competitive winless team ever? I mean, they really came close to beating the one-loss Rams. At number 31, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they are on a bye. Nothing really to say here. They're 1-5. At number 30, I have the New York Jets. So they gave up over 50 points to this Patriots offense. And this game was just a total mess for the Jets. I mean, it was all Patriots from the start. Unfortunately, Zach Wilson sprained his PCL in this game. He's going to be out a few weeks, but the Jets really need to make sure they are protecting him better when he gets back. At number 29, I have the Houston Texans. So they had a bad loss versus the Cardinals this past weekend, but obviously that is not unexpected. They really need Tyrod Taylor back because this team played its best football when Tyrod Taylor was on the field. At number 28, I have the Miami Dolphins. And oh my gosh, what is going on with the Dolphins? They have not won a game since week 1. What is happening with this team? What is happening with this defense? I had such higher expectations for this defense. This defense played way better last season. This O-line isn't blocking well at all. I don't think all these losses are on Tua. I mean, the guy has no time. He's having to get the ball out so quick. But he did have an interception in the red zone that really shifted the momentum of this game this past weekend versus the Falcons. I feel like Tua just has some really costly interceptions. Like his interceptions or his turnovers are just at the worst times. At number 27, I have the Philadelphia Eagles, and I know some Eagles fans might be mad that I have the Eagles ranked lower than the Giants. Just chill. We're getting into the NFC East part of the ranking here. Bad loss for the Eagles versus the Raiders. They started to actually run the ball in this game, which was great because it was actually working. You know, when you give the ball to Miles Sanders more than one time in a half, you know, good things happen. He was averaging 5 yards per carry, but then unfortunately Sanders had to leave the game with an injury. At number 26, I have the Washington football team. So this defense is really one of the biggest disappointments in all of the league this season. Like, what happened between the end of last season and the start of this season with this defense? Heineke, he's just not consistent enough to be a starting quarterback in this league. He turns the ball over too much. He misses some important throws, and not converting on 4th down multiple times in the red zone in this game really cost the Washington football team this game versus the Packers. At number 25, I have the New York Giants. So yay, they finally won again. Somehow the defense went back to playing like the defense we saw last season, and they only gave up 3 points in this game. If you guys want to see a more in-depth video about this game, check out my live reaction to the Giants vs. Panthers game. At number 24, I have the Seattle Seahawks, and yikes, the Seattle Seahawks have not looked good these past few weeks. Obviously, Russell Wilson being out is having a huge impact on this team. Geno Smith, you know, he plays pretty solid during the game, but then the Seahawks get to the end of the game where they have a chance, you know, come back and win or tie the game, and on those possible game-winning drives, he just cannot get it done. He's just not a clutch player. At number 23, I have the Denver Broncos. So the Broncos have lost 4 in a row. Basically, the Broncos lost to the Browns backups on Thursday Night Football, and this defense is not playing as good as it should be playing. This offense is looking way worse, and this team is just really cold right now. At number 22, I have the Carolina Panthers. So this is another team that has lost 4 games in a row. Sam Darnold is really playing bad. This offense desperately needs Christian McCaffrey back. And I'm not sure what is going on with this defense either. They looked way better to start the season. They are another team that is just really trending in the wrong direction. At number 21, I had the Atlanta Falcons. So the Falcons quietly have a 500 record right now. They beat the Dolphins this past weekend. This Falcons offense is really starting to click. I mean, Kyle Pitts had an insane game this past weekend. At number 20, I have the Chicago Bears. And oh my gosh, this game versus the Buccaneers was not pretty. I mean, this defense has been pretty solid this year. They have been getting a ton of sacks. I thought they would be able to do something versus Brady, right? They literally did nothing. They could not get 1 sack versus Brady. I mean, this Bears O-line is terrible, and this Bucs D-line just made this day horrible for Justin Fields. I feel so bad for Fields. He literally had 2 seconds to get the ball out of his hands. Pressure was coming, you know, from the left tackle side and the right tackle side. I mean, just both ways. Pressure in front of him, pressure behind him, pressure to the side of him. Like, he couldn't do anything. It was brutal. At number 19, I have the San Francisco 49ers, and this team has been really disappointing this season. I know they're dealing with some injuries, but still, they're just not playing really well. I mean, they're 2-4, and Jimmy G did not play good in their loss this past weekend versus the Colts. At number 18, I have the New England Patriots. They had a dominant win versus the Jets this past weekend. I mean, this offense put up over 50 points, so that is obviously a very, very good game. At number 17, I have the Steelers, and they were on a bye, and I just have them staying at the same spot. Same thing with the Vikings. I have them at 16. They were on a bye. They're just staying in the same spot. At number 15, though, I have the New Orleans Saints. So they played last night, obviously, and I gotta be honest, although they won the game versus the Seahawks, I really expected them to put up more points versus the Seattle defense. I really wanted to see them put up more points versus the Seattle defense. 13 points versus the Seattle defense, it's not enough. You got to do better than that. They are 4-2 though, and I think this defense can continue to play well in big moments for them. So yes, I have them at number 15. At number 14, I have the Indianapolis Colts. So the Colts are starting to get hot. Obviously, they beat the 49ers in, the slip and slide game on Sunday Night Football. Carson has looked really good, except for that terrible shovel pass interception. Like, I'm just gonna say that was a huge brain fart by him because I don't even know what that was. But this defense is looking really good too. At number 13, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. And I feel like this might be too high on this list for the Chiefs. I feel like the Chiefs maybe should be lower than 13. They probably should be. But I just did not expect them to lose the way they lost to the Titans this past weekend. This defense is so bad. It's atrocious. I mean, they're struggling to make tackles at times. And Mahomes is just trying to do way too much. And the O-line doesn't look good. And it's just a mess. The offense doesn't look good. The defense doesn't look good. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so unexpected. At number 12, I have the Cleveland Browns. So they got a much needed win versus the Broncos on Thursday Night Football with Keenum at quarterback. The Browns are in a really tough spot though right now with all of their injuries, especially the Baker injury, because I don't know what they're going to do about his shoulder. Not really sure how they're going to handle it, but I just feel so bad for Browns fans because they have a really good roster this season, and there's just, so many unfortunate injuries. At number 11, I have the Chargers. I mean, they didn't play this weekend. They were on a bye, but I had to move them down 3 spots just because other teams played really well this weekend, but they have a chance to move back into the top 10 when they play this upcoming weekend. At number 10, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. So the Raiders offense is definitely back to the Raiders offense we saw earlier this season when they were, undefeated to start the year. In the win versus the Eagles, Carr completed 31 of his 34 pass attempts, so he only missed 3 passes, which is insane. Only 3 incompletions in a game. He threw for 323 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in that win. At number 9, I have the Baltimore Ravens. So they had a surprising loss at home versus the Bengals. I still think this is a good team, but this defense definitely needs to play better. At number 8, I have the Buffalo Bills. They were on a bye, but I moved them down 1 spot, but no one cares because it's just 1 spot. But Bills fans probably care, but it's fine. They have a chance to move back up when they play again. At number 7, I have the Tennessee Titans. So back-to-back really, really impressive wins for the Titans. I did not expect them to beat the Chiefs the way they did this past weekend. It was just such a dominant win. Literally from the start of the game, from the first drive, it was literally all Titans. This defense did a really good job of, getting pressure on Mahomes, and wow, this Titans team has really stepped up recently. I mean, they lost to the Jets too, which is crazy. Like, how? How does that happen? At number 6, I have the Cincinnati Bengals, and just a huge, huge win for them this weekend, going into Baltimore and winning by a decent amount. I mean, this Bengals offense is one of the best in the league. Jamar Chase is one of the best wide receivers in the league, and he hasn't even played half a season in the NFL yet. This defense is playing way above expectations, and it's just really, really cool to see this team surprise a lot of people. We love an underdog. At number 5, I have the Green Bay Packers. They won versus the Washington Football Team. I thought this was one of the better games this defense has played this season. They got some huge 4th down stops in the red zone. They were able to get pressure on Heineke and create some turnovers. And this offense, played like the Packers offense. Not much to say there. At number 4, I have the Los Angeles Rams. So they got the win versus the Lions, but it was way, way closer than any of us expected. I don't like to move teams down after they win, but they literally almost lost to the Lions. So I do have to move them down just a little bit. This defense is way too much bend, don't break for my liking personally. It's like they are bending the most you can bend without breaking. Like, it's too much bending here, guys. I mean, the Lions literally almost had a game-winning drive there. Too much bending. This defense needs to play better. At number 3, I have the Dallas Cowboys. They did not play this week. They're on a bye, so I'm just leaving them at number 3. At number 2, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers are really looking good right now. They just absolutely dominated the Bears. This offense for Tampa Bay cannot be slowed down. I mean, Tom Brady had 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. It seems like that's his stat line every single game so far this season. Just at least 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. And this defense is getting healthy, so watch out. The Bucs are going to be really, really good. And obviously, at number 1, I have the only undefeated team in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. They beat the Texans. It was easy. This offense is one of the best to watch in the league. Kyler Murray, he's looking like an MVP still, and this team makes it look easy, and this team makes football look fun. So that is it for this video, guys. Make sure you drop a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know what you thought about my power ranking, and subscribe. Peace.